Hello, Tony. These are my favorite demos from the next fest, and Bonsai Body is here to show you around. We have
It does sound a
HYPERBEAT,
lot like it.
and wow, is this a really fucking cool rhythm game. I love the OST to this game. Apparently it's an original OST. Like, after I finished playing the game, I went to the Steam forums, and I was like, oh, where can I get the OST so I can listen to it again? And somebody already posted on there asking that question. Apparently it's going to come out when the game fully releases, so I will be listening to my own recordings of the soundtrack and then, you know, waiting for the full release as well.
It sounds like a version on the store page, maybe? Or...
But it's got this, like, the game is dripped in this, like, weird retro, like, it's this forced 4x3, and then you have, like, this information on the side. I've never I barely know what this game is, but I have seen, like, Digital Foundry talk about a game called Rez before, which is, like, this weird, like, shooter rhythm game that kind of reminded me of what this game is doing. But essentially what's going on here is I'm using my mouse to control the character, and I'm flying through the green pads, and then when I see what I'm going to call screws, because they look like screws to me, you hit those, and then you have directional hits left and right, and that's the whole mechanics. But it is really fucking satisfying, and like the music's good, and doing it in time with the beat is really, really cool. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? Because I haven't played a Rez game, and I think after playing this, I'm like, maybe I should check out a Rez game. It's the only thing I compare it to is it's kind of like a 3D Osu, because you're kind of like moving the mouse across the screen and then clicking things almost, but you know, pressing with the A and D key. I've only ever like messed around briefly on Osu. I know like professional Osu players, you play with like a drawing pad. I wonder if you played this game with a drawing pad, what would happen? Whether it would be, you know, the objectively best way to play.
It might be, because like, yeah, I think a lot of times, even if it's not set up, like, you'll just like read it as a mouse.
But it has this like, it has these really weird in-between sections where you like move really slowly into time. You know what the aesthetic reminds me of? Do you know that meme video of there's like a rat smoking, and it's like, my final message.
Oh,
that fucking thing.
I'm not thought about that. Yeah. This is my final message.
The fucking smoking rat. Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Like, it has that like, I don't know, is that like Dreamcast or that sort of era of games? I don't know. I'm not old enough or / played enough consoles to know when that's supposed to be.
Yeah, let's try
the weird like translation errors remind me of like, you know, like All Your Base Are Belong to Us, or like Castlevania. Isn't a man just a miserable pile of lies? But yeah, so this is the main gameplay. This was sort of these were the easy tracks. You go through, so you have to fly through these tunnels on time. I don't know, but and yeah, that was really good. And then it seemed like there was songs with like higher difficulties, and I didn't see any new mechanics, but it definitely like sped up and introduced more stuff on the screen quicker, sort of thing. So it's not like a Spin Rhythm XD, it seems like, where like there's more mechanics tied behind higher difficulties. It seems like it's just there's more notes and it's faster, but obviously we'll have to wait and see with the full game. One thing that did really intrigue me about the demo was there was this, you know, weird sort of story going on, but I was walking around like the area outside of the actual, like, you know, floating level things, and there was like a different knight that appeared. Like, I've got an axe, but there was a blue guy with a shield that appears, and I think there might be multiple characters you can play as, and I don't know if that is purely a cosmetic thing. So maybe there might be like mechanics tied behind different characters, which I think would be really interesting. And as well, because there was only about 5 songs in the demo, so I was a little bit worried about how many songs there would be for the full release. According to the store page, the game will have custom chart support and Steam Workshop support.
Oh, nice.
So that is always a really good thing with rhythm games. If you can get custom support in there, look, you can play Despacito, you can play Shrek, you can play all the classics. So yeah, this is the Shield guy that appeared.
Does it say how many games it's going to come out with? How
many songs are going to be in the full release? Is that what you're asking? I don't think so. Original soundtrack with progression system. Difficulties and accessibility options. Customize your night. I don't think it says how many. The first stream featuring 5 songs available now in the demo. No, it just 5 songs for the demo. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say how many the full game will have. So I did try the higher difficulties because I was like, how do I unlock the different things? I guess those aren't in the demo. So, well, because there was 5 in the first mirror and there's 4 of them mirrors. So maybe wait, there's more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe there's 30 songs based on the mirrors. This is me completely making it up. It's a complete guess.
Well, you're extrapolating for what you can see.
Yeah. But obviously the fact that it's going to have, because you can go onto a song and you can turn the challenge level up, and then there was new songs I hadn't played which were locked to a higher difficulty level. So yeah, that is going to be interesting to see, because I hope progression's not tied behind having to get really high scores on the more difficult songs, because I am more of a normal player. I'm not somebody who plays on the really high difficulty on rhythm games, but they did say this is a game designed for expert rhythm players and new rhythm players, and I think they have done a really good balance between the two. There is something in here for the experts, and there is something here it's really Tony, this game has 3 buttons.
Oh yeah. It's just about where you.
But it is so satisfying to play. You've got to try this out. I think the demo is still up. If you can download the demo for this, try it out. It's really fucking fun. One of my favorite Steam Next Fest demos is really, really good. And I'm excited. I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking I might just get this on launch. That's how excited I am to play more of this, especially knowing that it has custom support. Yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. The only thing I was a bit worried about was when you're moving around between songs, in the actual world, you have to pressing forward slowly moves your character. I know that that's in there for aesthetics and stuff, but I would maybe an option to turn off the story stuff, and I could just easily browse through all the songs and play them once I've gone through the main story, maybe, or something like that. I get it's through aesthetic stuff, but it, with rhythm stuff, you want it to not be selecting songs. You don't want to be too clunky, and I'm guessing you're going to have to walk between the different mirrors to select different songs. So hopefully there is options to change some of that stuff. Just if there isn't the accessibility options, I didn't check. So that's just what was in the base game. Yeah. But yeah, HYPERBEAT, all caps, like MF Doom. Remember the name. Really, really good. That's one of my favorites of the Next Fest. While waiting, this one took me by absolute I was not expecting this game to be as fucking good as it was. Holy shit. So, While Waiting is a game about waiting. It is exactly what it sounds like. I thought, this might be a relaxing AFK game. So this game is actually made by someone we've done a spotlight on before. It's the people who made Moncage. They made a game that was about it was a puzzle adventure game where you looked at a world trapped inside a cube and how you turned the cube changed the puzzle. And I honestly didn't really like that game, but it was quite complicated. This game is really simple. the biggest I was like, am I literally gonna have to just wait? Is the game about waiting? But you have like this notebook and it gives you like clues on things you can do. So you can move like left and right if you want to.
There's deep lore how we're born. This is crazy.
Yeah. And there's also a button that you can pull up and press if you get bored. Like literally it's there to like help you relieve stress and not get bored, which I thought was hilarious.
It does nothing.
Yeah. But essentially,
sounds like animation, though.
There is like a sticker for being like, well, if you want to literally just sit and wait, you can like literally wait through this game. But I think the real beauty of this game is when you go, wait a minute, what if I don't wait for the thing? What if I explore the scenery and see what's going on in this world? And that's when the game turns into like almost like a, like Triband. They do like the golf games and stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Okay.
Where it's just like really like the whole games are just like set dressing for really like interactive, funny jokes. And that's what this game is. It is like a masterpiece game about like interactive mini games hidden behind like really mundane tasks. Because it's just like, I'm waiting for the baton. I was like, wait a minute, can I join the cheerleaders? And it turns out, yes, you can join the cheerleaders. And there's this whole mini game with the cheerleaders. Like, but it's all within the context of this time frame. Like, you can like miss the guy with the baton if you don't do it before he gets there, but like they have this like picture of like the baton guy coming to give it to you, and you're just like playing this DDR cheerleader game. And I think the real beauty of this game is going to be like not only doing the actual waiting task, but going back and figuring out all of the like different bonus objectives you can do. Yeah.
That is the beauty of that. Like, yeah.
But I love like they just give you this notebook and it's like, hey, what if you did this? And you're like, but also just walking around the world, I'm like, what happens if I like the sabotage one? I was like, can I tie somebody else's shoelaces and make them trip over? I think I didn't have time to do it because the baton guy was already here. So I was like, oh shit, I can't miss my baton pass. I've got to get out of here. This one's great. You're just sitting waiting in goal. And I'm like, oh, what's going on with the clouds? I can wave to the crowd. They're literally kicking it back and forth to each other.
At some point, they're going to get it into the goal.
The audience loves me. I gotta keep waving to my fans. They're all here to see me. I just think this game has such a... not only is it like... It's got this great like comic strip animation, but it also has this like really funny humor to it as well, which I think just really carries the game. I genuinely... I think this game is like genuinely like almost a masterpiece. It is so like simple fun. Oh yeah, by the way, I looked at the gun cloud and now I'm doing target practice. But yeah, there is like 9 scenarios in this, and they're all... Do you remember the part where I was in an office and I started like doing like a fucking running section?
I was watching this on over Discord. It's like, it's this one. It's just like you walk outside and just
wait for the boss to finish the presentation, and you can like try and run away from the presentation.
I love the idea. The boss just runs out the room to like chase you.
No, you can't not listen to my presentation. It is just a game full of... It's a game full of this stuff. Honestly, showing it all to you would be a spoiler. Like, go out and play the demo and go out and play the full game when it comes out. This is really, really fun.
Yeah, I want to pick this up.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely going to be playing and probably streaming this game on Discord. But yeah, and then finally, my final favorite game from the Next Fest was Windblown, and this is a game made by the creators of Dead Cells. No, not those ones. The actual creators. There's been like
The real
5
person.
different games released saying from a guy that worked at Motion Twin or the spin-off company Twin Empire.
Yeah,
or
we've had some developers, we've had designer, we've had we've had quite a bit.
But this is from the actual Motion Twin themselves, the developers of Dead Cells, are making a brand new game, and it's not a 2D Castlevania Metroidvania game. It is a 3D action roguelite, but it's also co-op. I played it single player, so I have no idea what the co-op's like. But Tony, I sat down and I played this, and I just played it for hours, and I just kept playing it over and over again. This game is really fucking fun. I've not played Dead Cells for more than like 30 minutes, so I can't comment on their previous work, but like I think I get it. They make, from what I've seen of this game, it's really fucking fun. Like they know how to do smooth movement. They know how to do satisfying combat. They've got a really good loop on their hands, and I think this game's actually coming out in like a couple of days into early access. So if you want to play this, you can pick it up in early access. I think with a game like this,
Dead Cells as well.
Yeah, I think Dead Cells was an early access game as well. Yeah,
I think so long now because now it's been like this established game. So
I think with a roguelike game, I would prefer to wait for it to be like a finished product. Like, I really want to play Hades 2, but I'm just gonna wait for it to finish development because I know I'll get more enjoyment out of it as a complete product.
I just feel like you would get enjoyment out of it now, but you will be a beta tester, so it's just I'll wait.
Yeah, I was more cautious of early access in the past, and I started doing more early access stuff, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then the more early access stuff I did, I was like, but there is quite a lot of caveats. Like you can, like I played Sons of the Forest in early access, and it kind of made me not want to go back and play the full release, even though it was a better experience. And I'm sort of more cautious of early access. Yeah, I'm more cautious of early access stuff.
I think if it's like a Minecraft, like obviously like it was in early access, and you can almost say like if it's like say it was in early access now, like has updates, right? Like I think that's fine because like you just like redo the experience and it's like similar but different. Like that's fine. But if it's like got a story or like a progression, like you can't really.
It's a furry game, Tony. I'm playing as an axolotl. You get to select different creatures. I think they're purely cosmetic. It seems like.
Well, yeah, there's the Dead Cells one. Like you're obviously a cell, but you can change your appearance by unlocking your, I think, both head and outfits. So.
But the core
the actual animation looks as good.
Yeah, and I love how you just like dashing from like floating platform, and I was never lost. Like I always knew where I could and could not go, sort of thing. But it's still like very open and like obviously there's these big floaty platforms that like sky blocks. It looked absolutely amazing. It's great atmospheric music. So the core gameplay loop is you have these weapons. And then you can pick up more powerful weapons and different weapons, and then you can carry multiple weapons, and each weapon has its own like unique playstyle, and then the weapons also combo together. And from what I understand, this is also a system in Dead Cells as well, and it's really satisfying when you get it. So you basically it's roguelike stuff. You basically are like. This sends you down a path of like, oh, do I want to, be more powerful when I kill enemies? Or there's like stuff that's specific to a weapon. So there's like these kunais that basically put curses on people over time. And then when you activate them, they basically deal a bunch of damage. But then you can also get a power up that makes it so if you have an enemy cursed, you can also stun them for like a couple of seconds as well. Like there's lots of like sub mechanics inside the mechanics.
Yeah. I guess is it like Dead Cells where like every weapon is like feels quite or very very unique.
Yeah. So like there's this sword which is like
animations.
This has like a jump attack, and then there's like I think this is crit based, and then there's one that's more AoE sword. There's a crossbow which is a ranged weapon, but it has like a rhythm mechanic where if you attack in time to the rhythm, it deals more damage.
That's way more interesting than just
and then there's
some range things in these games really boring.
And then the other range weapon, the
range weapon.
kunai, is it deals less damage, but it puts the curse on people, which I talked about as another interesting mechanic. And then there's also, I think there's maybe another weapon. I have to look at, but yeah, there's a bunch of weapons in the game already. And then if you use them in time and you press the switch button, you can. Each one has its own unique combo move. So like with the sword, you'll do like a big jump and then a crash down smash onto the floor and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. But yeah, man. So when you die, you go to like a tent and there's like this committee of furries who are like, you basically like rebuilding a town up in the sky sort of thing. And then the way it works is like the progression is you can unlock blueprints for new like passives, and you can also unlock like starting weapons that you can start with. So if you're like, oh, I like the kunais, I want to start with the kunais rather than like the fish knife, for example.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. I wonder if they're gonna do unlocking story in a similar way to Dead Cells as well. Then.
Yeah, so there was when I was playing through, where there was this because you're fighting robots in the actual home area. There was a friendly robot, and he was like, "Hey, there's another one of me in the world. Can you find him?" And you go and you talk to this guy, and then that progresses the story in the home world.
Yep. That is identical to Dead Cells. That is interesting.
But yeah, so I can't talk about the co-op element, but yeah, they've taken the Dead Cells formula. They've nailed it in 3D, from what I understand. Like, this game feels really good, and you say it's quite similar to Dead Cells in terms of some of the mechanics.
Yeah, the way that you're like, also that the speed you're doing weapons, the speed that you're dashing and stuff, like very, very similar pace.
Yeah, it's a schmovement game. It is really satisfying.
Yeah, big fan.
I can't wait. Like, part of me wants to play the early access, and part of me knows that I will prefer, waiting for it. Maybe I just need to play Dead Cells, man.
Yeah, play Dead Cells while you wait.
Yeah, I'm currently because Next Fest happened in the middle of Halloween, spooky month. It happened in the middle of October, so I've been trying to play spooky games, playing a bunch of demos, and also playing like random FMV games. Like, I'm trying to get back into spooky games. But after Korean girls.
The most spooky of all the enemies.
We'll talk about
Existential Crisis.
Still Wakes the. Well, I've been playing romantic spooky games. I've been playing Catherine, which is a very interesting game.
Yeah, that is actually
But it's terrifying for me because it's a puzzle game, and I'm awful at those.
Oh, doubly terrifying.
But yeah, definitely check out all of these games. I would highly recommend Windblown, While Waiting, and HYPERBEAT. I think all of these games are really, really good. And these are games I'm looking at and going, okay, when these come out, I'm going to be seriously looking at purchasing these, because I think they are like... There's a bunch of games I played in the Next Fest where I was like, these are really good, like generally good, but these three were like, okay, these stand out way above the rest. These are really something interesting, something special.
Yeah, they did absolutely fantastic.
We will... I can show you the town maybe before we go, I guess, if I've got footage of that.
Yeah,
here it is.
Where you respawn.
You speak to this guy, and you can like get a health flask. You can upgrade the health flask and change your starting weapon. And there's a training dummy. And to get back into action, you fire yourself out of a fucking cannon.
Oh, nice. When you die, like, where do you like just like come out of like a hut? Like
you come out of like a tent, like a medical tent.
Because in Dead Cells, you like fall down a gutter and like roll it into your new body you control. It's very interesting.
No, in this game, I guess they're healing you. You don't actually die.
Yeah. Very morbid in Dead Cells, though. This is, very much alive.
But yeah, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.